Hello, it's Paul from Mode 7 here, I hope you're well. I wanted to show you some of the new Tokyo 42 update as I think it makes a huge difference to the game. What I'm going to do is just read a statement that the devs Sean and Magic have put out about what you're seeing here. A massive part of Tokyo 42 is the isometric viewpoint, and one of the more difficult issues that this creates is the way that a player can get lost behind geometry when rotating the camera. We thought about this a fair deal, and one of the things we wanted to try was making important entities show up as highlighted when hidden behind the world geometry. So when you next boot up Tokyo 42, you'll notice that we've done this. The player is highlighted blue behind terrain, while enemies, bullets and other projectiles are highlighted red. We found that this helps the eye keep track of what's going on, and we're very excited to hear what you think of it. So as you can see here, when I go behind a piece of terrain, you can actually see where the player is. And also when enemies appear, as they will shortly, you can spot them behind terrain as well. This really does make an enormous difference in terms of how you orient yourself in the game, and it's an attempt to address one of the fundamental criticisms of Tokyo 42. Tokyo 42 is quite an innovative game using this rotating perspective, and quite a few people have found that a bit hard to adapt to. For some people it clicks straight away, and for others it doesn't. What we really hope with this update is that it doesn't compromise the nature of the gameplay. You still need to move the camera around, and learning to do that is a big part of playing the game. But also it makes it easier to just spot where you are, to just get a focal point for what you're doing, and also not lose track of things when they get a bit hectic. What you can also see here is some of the other updates that have come into the game since launch, and I wanted to give you an overview of those just in case you missed them. So the first thing that the devs added were difficulty modes. So easy mode gives the player a shield with 3 charges that basically act like extra lives. They say giving them a little bit of wiggle room after an unscheduled meeting with a stray rifle round. So if you are annoyed by the one-hit kill thing, there is an easy mode that enables you to get over that. The other thing you can see here is the kill marker, that skull and crossbones that comes up over an enemy. It just gives you the exact point at which they die, so it's clear when you've hit them. It's always good to have extra feedback, and that was something they added there. There's also been some changes to aiming, so rocket launchers and heavy lasers are only truly useful when they actually explode where you want them to. The player now aims at the ground by default when using those weapons, so those are a lot easier to use. You can also turn on aiming at the ground, so aiming down at the point where your crosshair is, by default on all weapons if you want to in the options. So the aiming is configurable as well. We've just really tried, and the devs particularly have really tried to give players maximum flexibility, and I think this represents kind of their big sign-off in some ways to this area of Tokyo 42's gameplay. If this doesn't click with you, then it may well be that the game itself is not for you and that you're not going to grasp this perspective. But I really think that it's going to be worth giving the game another try if you found this difficult initially. We really hope that's what people do. We've tried to take the community feedback as best we can. Tokyo 42 has been a success for us at Mode 7, and we're really excited to get more people playing it, so we hope that happens.